Today is the best time in history to start a business. There are so many opportunities. If you look at AI, it's going to be the best thing or the worst thing that happens to us humans.
So you grew from 0 to 100 million within 8 months.
And we're going to help millions of founders build successful businesses.
In your craziest dreams, where are you going to go?
To create so much value that we become the first $1 trillion company from Europe.
Is Lovable reasoning?
I would say so.
Give me money and just find a fucking good idea. And I want it to work. Make $1,000 a minute. We cannot try that yet, can we?
We can do that. Should we do it now, live?
Yeah.
What I realized is that to have a lot of impact in the world, you must build things. That's the ultimate way to have leverage.
I love seeing CEOs just killing themselves somehow.
I love what I'm doing. It's really fun. It's very hard to not work. Over the last few decades, software has been eating the world. Now with AI, it's possible for the 99% who don't know how to code at all to create the software. I think we're still just getting started.
Let's do this. Let's do this, Anton. Actually, it was a tough day, right? So you woke up we're at the end of the day, and you woke up at 4 in Stockholm?
I woke up at 4 in Stockholm, yes, to get to the airport, fly to Paris.
And you're flying back tomorrow, or you're going another place?
Flying back tomorrow.
Okay. Why don't you stay in Paris? You should stay a couple of days.
I love it here. I've been biking by the river, both directions now, to Station F, to the Louvre, and to here. And I was amazed by how nice the city is.
Oh, you did all this with a bike?
Yes, so the Lime bikes just to get around.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I did run this place, all of what you did this morning, actually. So I did wake up also early. So we're both tired, but we're going to be super sharp and super focused for the next couple of hours.
Sure, yeah.
Anton, we're in this new studio. So it's a place we've had for 24 hours, something like this. And yesterday night, I was preparing this episode. So we called this place Studio 71, right? And I was I've been hearing from Lovable and talking about Lovable for months, right? So now I have to try it but real time, really good, and push it a bit. And so I started the website for this studio because we're going to rent it. So I just started. Actually, I took my project from ChatGPT and said, can you give me the best prompt for Lovable to create this website? And so it asked me a couple of questions, and then I got this prompt. And actually, it was interesting. There is different kind of uses. So it's a meeting room, a studio, photo studio, or podcast studio, and everything.
It's a beautiful place. I have to say. I feel special for being the first 24 hours.
We're very happy. And so actually, it was very efficient.
Okay.
Mind-blowing, I would say. So at the beginning, my belief was, it's going to be a kind of facial website, a pretty static website.
Yep.
And actually, I did ask, because we will rent it as a meeting room, right? So I said, we can have up to 12 person, and they maybe want to order breakfast or lunch. Can you put that on the devis? How do you say devis? The quote. And so he made me the form with how many people will there be, and do you want breakfast? Breakfast is 15 euros. Lunch is 30 euros. And then it was actually adding up to the quote.
Yeah.
And it was I was, what the fuck?
So you don't have to think about how the form should look. It comes up with all the details like a designer.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. But the idea, the introduction I wanted to make is that it did blow my mind yesterday, and it, raised a lot of questions I'm going to ask you today. We're going to talk about AI for sure. We're going to talk about maybe the future of work, or the vision you have about all of those jobs, or how do you code yourself at Lovable? What's behind Lovable also? Yep. What technology? I've seen you have a team of superstars. So how do you get them to work with you? Also, one question I've been asking myself, it's been 2 years on this podcast and everywhere. We've been saying everything's going to change now. Be ready. And I mean, you're the first like real big things. I mean, a lot of things has changed, but so how do we go there? I mean, what's my question to you?
To the future.
Yeah, to the future. And how do we make this happen? I talked to you about the marketplace we created for selling businesses. How do I get there concretely? Who should I hire? How can I make them feel it's the right place for them to work and so on? That's the program for today. Is that okay? Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay. So, Anton Osika, first question I have for you is, would you introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Anton. I've been always obsessed with how things work.
All right.
And first, when I was young, that was picking apart telephones and technology at home. And then I was inspired by watching The Matrix to be like, I have to learn how to write code and create software.
When did you start?
So I was 12, went to the library, got books, started creating computer games.
Okay.
And then wanting to understand how things work, I studied physics at the university in Sweden. And it was very fun if you're a nerd and you're curious. But what I realized is that to have a lot of impact in the world and really apply yourself as a human, you must build things. That's the ultimate way to have leverage.
To have a lot of impact, you have to build things.
You have to build things.
Tools and
So I was at CERN, like with particle physics, and I was like, no, this is not how you have a lot of impact. So for the last 10 years, I've been part of building startups and software products and teams that build products. And the ultimate problem to solve, from my experience, and to let more people have impact, is to let more people do what has been very, very difficult, which is to create a fully working, high-quality software product end-to-end. And over the last few decades, software has been eating the world. But now with AI, it's possible for the 99% who don't know how to code at all to create the software. And I think we're still just getting started in terms of how how easy it is going to be and how empowered people are going to be. So that's the full circle of me realizing you should build things, and now building the thing that builds things is what Lovable is. And in between, I was the founding engineer at the company called Sana Labs, which is an AI company in Stockholm that was like super small in the beginning. I hired some of the engineers together with Joel, the founder, and now it's 250 people at Sana and growing globally.
Lovable,
No, that was the last previous company.
Okay, the previous.
That's some of my history. Built startups before.
Did I see something about Despite?
Depict.
So that's
that was a company where I joined as the co-founder and became the CTO.
Yeah,
and I think it was the fastest growing startup in Sweden, where we grew we went through Y-Combinator, and then it took, like 6 months, a bit more, to get 1 million ARR.
That was the Depict AI was the
e-commerce recommendations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it was the YC, the COVID YC, right?
Yes, it was COVID YC.
So it was you were staying in Stockholm. You didn't have to go, which was probably good, but not that good. Or what do you think?
I probably got more focused hours building because of that, but it was less immersive and less you got less of that in-person experience, of course. But you learned a lot from going through YC and understanding what does Y Combinator give you as a founder in terms of becoming more successful. And I think the biggest part is like the high pressure environment and helping you focus really hard on one outcome for 3 months.
One outcome for 3 months. The focus part is very important. Plus the speed is important. That's what I understood from many people I've seen. We've actually recorded at YC last year.
Oh.
And we understand that the demo day thing is big because you want to be ready within 3 months, right? Which is something, everybody can apply to his company. You should just, I start within 3 months. We did that in one company. We said within 3 months, we're going to book a place and have a demo day and I mean,
you did this without YC.
Without YC, yeah. And we said, well, yeah, I mean, we'll have a demo day. We invite all of our investors plus other people, journalists and people like this. And then we'd better be ready because we invited them already, right? So it's something you can even do. I mean, a good inspiration, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think there are more things you only get if you go through YCombinator, but course. You can kind of artificially create this environment with your friends, or as you did.
Plus, I mean, that we see one important thing is that the filter. I mean, the people who comes in, like now it's like probably 40,000 company and probably every year. And now it's probably, I don't know, 1% going in. So at some point, if you go in, all of the investors, I mean, you get the lights on you, right?
Yeah. I mean, YCombinator does marketing infrastructure quite well also. And like,
what do you mean?
Gives you access to a network. So, as you said, like you get more attention on you if you are a YCombinator company.
Yeah, sure.
And that helps accelerate things on the distribution side, right?
Yeah. We've seen a lot of on the distribution, of course, and on the money. I mean, raising money. We've seen a lot of companies that were telling us that like funds, VC firms are trying to invest before the demo day because it's too late after the demo day, right? What was the first day of Lovable actually? How did it start? And because I mean, at some point I was thinking like, yeah, I want to make a website that's going to make perfect website. Duh. You're like, yeah, sure. I want to make website that makes, I don't know, planes fly, and you're like, it's kind of, super. I mean, I wouldn't even believe in you if you would tell me that, right? At some point. So how did you make it happen? But moreover, when did it start and when did you see that was doable and you could do it yourself?
So I'll just say that the short thesis was the way to create software was to start in an empty text editor and then start writing your code line by line. And it was just very clear to me that this is not the right approach in the age of AI. It's going to be very different. It's going to be a new interface. And specifically, it's going to be much more intuitive and simple for anyone to be able to use it. And that was the thesis. But if I go back to like what I was thinking 2.5 years ago, then I was CTO at a startup. And
that was early 2023, was it? Something like this? Okay,
early. Even like a few months before then, it was clear to me that, hey, we're going to see this very, very rapid advancement in AI capabilities because this current generation of AI, you can make it become smarter and smarter quite rapidly. Specifically, it was clear that it started to show signs that it can reason in the same way that humans can reason, in my opinion. It's still a bit controversial, but that's how I see it. And then beginning of 2023, I experimented over like weekends. Okay, you can actually put this. I think I experimented a bit during my engagement trip with my wife on how can you put this together into an advanced system that is agentic.
All right.
And one of those experiments that I wanted to show to the engineering team to make people to prove the point that software engineering is going to change was a tool that I put out open source, which means that anyone could use the tool. It was for developers. So you open your terminal as a developer and then you write, create me a snake game. For example, this is like quite a simple application. And I put out the video when I did this and it was agentic such that it created all the files necessary to run a snake game and then it started a snake game.
Yeah, can you explain agentic?
Agentic.
Yeah.
So the ChatGPT and so on, it's mainly you chat with it.
Yeah.
But even these days, it can search the internet and it can decide, now I'm going to generate an image for you. Yeah. And those capabilities I would call agentic. It's taking action for you.
Okay.
So that's what that means.
So for example, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
So for what I created then was a tool, put that out in a tweet, it was called GPT Engineer, and that became super popular. Like it became the 50,000 GitHub stars. So developers really liked it, and big academic papers referenced this project. And from that point, I was thinking, okay, this is interesting. This project helps developers become more productive, and that's an interesting problem to solve. But the more pressing and more valuable problem is to, instead of making people incrementally more productive, letting 99%, much more people go from not being able to build at all to being able to use AI with a new type of way to build products, go 0 to 1, so to actually be able to create things.
So 0 to 1 was your new
that was
playground.
The thesis, yes. So it should be, for everyone, it is a new type of interface, and we have to figure out what's the best interface for this. And now we have a new type of interface with Lovable, but I think there are many iterations left to get to the perfection of this.
And so to start those things at the beginning, where you were just on your own, right?
So this was me thinking, and then when I realized, okay, this is what you should build.
But before that, what I'm asking, the question I had was, what's behind? I mean, you couldn't rebuild OpenAI and ChatGPT. You don't have the human forces to do that, right?
Yep.
So what's behind?
Okay, not behind that. Yeah. So the thesis was always this APIs, which is ChatGPT and Claude and others. They are going to be improved very fast, and it's going to be very competitive in who has the best models. So where you shouldn't play in that very competitive space, you should play in the space of owning what the user experiences.
Yeah.
What's the interface, and using the best model, and over time maybe adding some of your own data on top of those models.
That was actually, we were talking about YC last year. Nicolas de Seigne actually was explaining exactly that. It was that, I mean, you will not compete with Anthropic or OpenAI or even probably Mistral. I don't know. You'll tell me your thought about Mistral, but because it's too expensive, it's way too much investment already. But we will be able now, and all of the startups at YC were the other layers, right? The next layer that is the user interface that is built. So that's what you did. Was it?
Yes, that was the thesis. And then this was me thinking. But then when I was on a vacation, I biked to my co-founder's apartment and called him and said, hey, let's go on a walk. And it was with Fabian, who had built products as a CTO and as founder and sold companies before. I explained the thesis of that you should make this interface that's for everyone to build. Okay. And then we started building. I started full time on this a few months later, and in November last year we launched Lovable, the product.
Okay, November.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And since then we've been thrilled by how many people, both technical people and non-technical people, and the semi-technical people, who really love how, as what you described, is mind-blowing. It generated something for me. It did more than I asked for. And by iterating a few times, you can make this work 100%. You can add payments and build as many people have built successful SaaS businesses by just talking in plain English with AI.
You see me laugh because one of the experiments I had yesterday night was like, okay, so you had my prompt, and you made me something. I didn't tell him exactly that, but the result, I love the result, but I want you to give me another option that's on steroids and that's going to help me sell this place like much more. Like very aggressive. And it gave me, I should show you the result after, but it was like, with the price, like it was like €1,000, but now today is only 600, but there is only 3 left. And you're like, it was very inspiring at some point. It was very, interesting. And then I said, let's go back to the previous version, but I actually gave me some ideas. So it's very interesting.
Interesting. So it went from like a high, strong brand to being more like sales, like just buy now today. It's very cool. So as I was telling you, up to about a year ago, I was actually
owning majority shareholder in a development agency called Cosavostra that you've seen upstairs, and I was actually worried about this coming. Should I
be worried?
Yeah.
Good question. I think the future is that there's still so many good ideas out there, and people with strong vision and care for the end user of how software should be better than the software we have today. So we're going to see like an explosion in great products and great software interfaces.
Definitely.
Coming out from AI, making it much more accessible. And I think you should see it as that everyone becomes a developer. People who are engineers or technical today, they will have an advantage in being able to do a bit more things because they will be very good at using AI. So if you're working at a software development agency, you will have an advantage. But if everyone is a developer, you will not be able to charge the same high premium prices.
Yeah. So the tough part might be for freelance developers just by themselves.
What I'm saying is that the jobs will not disappear, but there will be it will not be as like, you will not have this hefty salaries that are many orders of magnitudes almost higher than people working normal jobs.
The thing that will disappear is probably within a few months is the I don't know, the barbershop that wants a website.
Barbershop's website, yeah.
I mean, he will do it himself, probably. No,
it's a good question. I think in some cases you want to talk to a human and to explain all the different. Especially if you're not so technical, to explain all the different options that you have to choose from.
But if you take this barbershop, you know Planety? You've heard about this?
What do they do?
It's a big place where you can book like a haircut, or it's very big in France, but I think it's growing really big all around Europe now. So I would say if I was a barber, or if I was still in an agency, I would tell the barber, look, you do your website on Lovable probably now.
Yep.
But you'll have to integrate Planety. You'll have to make this booking thing.
Yep.
Can I do that easily myself now?
The Lovable?
Yeah.
I have not tried, but yes, you should be able to easily.
Can you integrate APIs as we call that? Yeah. So an API, I will explain for everyone, but you'll have to sometime to integrate external services.
Yes.
So
like AI. Booking, like Google Maps.
Yeah. So you can do all of these easily.
Yeah, correct. So you can do all of them by asking in plain text what you want to do, Google Maps, Planety. Some of them are more seamless than others. If you ask for AI now, you should be able to just get it to work with one prompt. If you want to integrate Planety, you also need to set up a Planety account.
Yeah.
And then you need to use a secret key to put that into Lovable, and then it should work.
And do I have to send to Lovable like all of the documentation, API documentation from Planety, or it's not even?
So if you wait 1 week, it will find that on the internet by itself.
Yeah, so it's coming even for much harder code. And so, I'm trying to push that as far as we could go. I don't know, it can go very far actually, but what about you're a developer yourself?
Yep.
I mean, what about the devs at Lovable? How far do they go with AI code themselves? Or do you guys go?
Yeah, we all use all the different tools for AI, and one of the reasons is that we need to understand what new ideas are out there and pick the best ones and bring them into Lovable. And AI is very, very good at doing things fast and doing quite standard things well. So building a website with API connections, those are very standard things. There's some things that we do that are not very standard when Lovable is agentic, which means that taking different actions, looking at what happens and so on, and building a website inside of another, like so Lovable is a website and then there's another website in that, which is very custom. And then you need, for those like weird and custom things, you need a human. Currently, you need a human brain to really understand the entire system and either guide an AI very specifically what to do, or just write the code yourself.
Is Lovable? You were talking about AI reasoning.
Yeah.
Is Lovable reasoning?
I would say so. 100%.
Yeah. How?
So if you say what you said before, make it more like so that people are really going to buy, and then what it does is it looks at the website, it understands your request, like, okay, we need to make the conversion rate higher of this website somehow, and then it has somehow learned from all this training data what can be good to do, and then it decides like, okay, maybe since I have this component here, I must replace that part, but this other component that you had before, I should keep that one. And those decisions, I would call those decisions reasoning.
All of these things are really creating knots in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, because when you push it a bit forward, so we all know from the web industry what we call ABC testing, like A/B testing, right? So this is like going to be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's going to be like, and if you go even further, probably with cookies, or I will know that, Anton, you're the one coming on my website, and you like those kind of website, and you like, maybe more aggressive or seamless, and maybe I can just adapt the website to the person coming on my website, right? Or me, myself, as a visitor, say, I want all of the websites I go on be like this. Is it going to be close?
Yeah.
Is it going to happen soon?
Yeah. What will happen soon is that you will be able to have this AI, maybe you can call it the growth engineer, that tells you when you wake up, like, hey, I just ran an A/B test and they have 4% conversion increase. Do you want to look at my work, or should I just go and publish it? And this is going to happen soon. Then what I think is the ultimate role for humans in the world is something that AI maybe cannot automate, and it is to add the human taste of what do other humans want, and like what is good taste. So I see Lovable as being just a lever for like a big leverage for that human creativity and human taste.
There's one thing I didn't try actually yesterday, and I regret it 100%. Obviously, people have asked you several times that, but what if I ask Lovable to create Lovable?
Obvious question. So even in the early version, someone did this and they called it likable, and I also very impressed. I was very impressed that it was possible to do it.
It's I could sell it and make people work on my.
Yeah, you can start a competitor in Lovable.
All of those things. When I said blew my mind yesterday was like, as an entrepreneur, you're like, how far could that go? I could even ask, like, okay, look, I it's not just code, but it's like, look, I want to create a business. I don't know what. Here is who I am.
Make me money.
Yeah, make me money and create and try. And just, I'll come back tomorrow and just find a fucking good idea. And I want it to work and make $1,000 a minute. I don't know. And we cannot try that yet, can we?
We can do that. Should we do it now, live?
Yeah, sure. Go on. Well, let's do that. I don't know.
I will try to. I will just tell the audience.
Let's try something. I love those places. So the idea, I'll explain it again while while Anton is. So it's like, as an entrepreneur, we're in 2025, and like the idea is to show the world that we can just work another way, right? But the problem is that I'm not going to sleep for days after this, right? So Clémence is saying I'm going to be very annoying. I'm really excited now because this idea was so. Can I ask Lovable to find a way to create a business and create the business? And I don't know, within these areas, but maybe at some point, what is interesting is that because ChatGPT knows me well, it can give me my IQ, my MBTI, and all of those things. I can say, knowing what you know about me, I mean, create a business and something that's going to be fast, and a cash machine, or I don't know, something that will have a lot of impact on people or whatever.
Okay, should we see if we can build a business that makes money?
Okay. Yeah.
So I was thinking, we want it to come up with a good idea, maybe based around what you've done in the past.
Okay.
Could that be interesting?
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick question: like, if you would try to find this idea, how would you go about it? Would you go and search online for something and find any good inspiration pages, or would you just pick something that's the recent trend?
Brainstorm probably with ChatGPT. Yeah,
I can ask it that. So start by brainstorming and pick something that is like a good timing because of how AI is affecting the world right now. So here, what I can see is that it goes straight into building something called venture AI.
Okay.
And what does it think that it should do? So here I'll pause it here until this.
Let me ask you a question, a couple of questions where we'll let it work right now. Could I? How far? I mean, could I go and create my own? I don't know, CRM. Can I try like something like was Salesforce at the very beginning, or with the Lovable? I mean, can I go that far?
Yeah, CRM is a good example of something that is a bit complex. Like if you had a developer create this, it would take days or weeks even. But where the AI can do it, you will need to sit down and guide it and tell it if they test the software as it's being built and maybe explain if you find a bug somewhere. But it will be able to build a CRM. It cannot build Salesforce. Like it has so many features. Yeah. But it can build a CRM that works perfectly for you and your use case.
That can be very specific. So it's interesting. And could it build something, I mean, that at some point would become Salesforce? I mean, in your intuition,
I think so. What I hear is that Salesforce is very bloated, and that's one of the problems, right? So I think you could definitely build a competitor to Salesforce that maybe even most people prefer by being more opinionated about how it should work and make it less bloated, like Salesforce is.
What's your relationships with salespeople? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so at the last company where I was the co-founder, it was a sales-driven distribution motion. But with Lovable, it has been a completely self-serve product. So we have gotten this growth, which is extremely rapid. Like we're 7 months after launch, and we're at $90 million.
I thought you had the 100, so it's 90. Yeah, 90, but when we release this podcast, it will be 100. Okay.
Okay. Wait, it depends on when we release. But that comes from people just discovering the tool, getting hooked and blown away by how much they can create, how fast they can create things, and then signing up for a monthly subscription. And if we look ahead, it's obvious to me that larger companies, and we see many larger companies absolutely fallen in love with Lovable, using it internally, and they often need to talk to a human to understand security concerns. How do they onboard more people in their team, and so on. So now we have a team of super smart go-to-market engineers that just help our customers through the journey to become successful using Lovable if they work at a large company.
And if I would want to, I could ask you to say, I want 5 or 10 ideas or 10 landing pages.
You can say, go out and brainstorm for ideas and pick the best one for 2025 to build a successful business, for example.
Okay.
We can try both. So when I press enter, Lovable will start thinking and maybe going out and researching on the internet, and then it will build the website. And we can see what happens when it's done.
So
here it's searching for your background to understand who you are.
Have you did you ever have some people reporting to you that they've started businesses like crazy businesses. What do you have any story to tell me about?
So I love this person who used to run a large engineering team.
Okay.
And there's pros and cons of running a large engineering team. He had 130 engineers that he managed. And now he's building as a solo founder instead. And what he really likes about doing it alone as a solo founder with Lovable is that the feedback loop between him having an idea of what to change in his product is in the order of minutes. Rather than a week of like the roadmap is the roadmap is set for 2 weeks out. You cannot change anything. So he thinks he moves much, much faster. And now he has started multiple businesses on Lovable where he makes in total tens of thousands of dollars per month. So that's Philippe.
That's insane.
It's many stories like
it's
this.
French? No, you say Philippe? No.
Philippe, I have to think if he's South American or French.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, that's an interesting question, actually, because you're talking about solo founders and teams.
Yeah.
One thing on Lovable is that you have to subscribe and pay if you want to be more than 3, right? Five, sorry. Okay. So how efficient is it with the team? I mean, actually, what is the interesting part of being 5, 6, 7, 10 on the same Lovable product or website? And have you ever seen like very efficient teams working on it?
Yeah, so we launched a team plan recently, and then it's been thousands of teams signing up and using it collaboratively across different projects and sometimes collaborating in the same project. And what's the most interesting part of that is that if you have a product and you have a lot of ideas, you can discuss the ideas, or you can just spend a few minutes and show what would this idea look like.
Yeah, or even more, you can discuss the idea, show what it will look like, try it on your clients or prospects, and see if it works or not, and not say, yeah, it will never work. Yeah.
And if you try to this collaborative workflow today, I mean, Lovable can do it with some tricks. I'll have to go into what those tricks are, but over the coming weeks, we're going to make that much more seamless in terms of how do you collaborate, how do you see what others in your team is proposing to change in the product. But there are many large companies. I explained Felipe as one of the people who are using Lovable alone. Someone created a copy of DocuSign, and they got a cease and desist from DocuSign because it's like they feel that they're being threatened, I think. But then there are large companies. So there's one example of you spoke about CRMs, but HubSpot team is using it, and they are. Designers and product managers feel much more productive in communicating what they think or ideas they have about what new features to build, new AI features, for example.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so large companies move much faster in what they spend the most time on, which is aligning the teams, validating which concepts should go out to production for their users. That's where they spend the majority of their time.
Yeah, because in the past, I mean, actually for business sales, I don't know who am I, but like people like me, I would just create like a mock-up and say, look, this is how it should look like. And it was like a broken, messed mock-up. And like people were like, what the fuck are you saying? It's never going to work. And like, we should try. But it's, so my question actually previously early on with the sales was actually that, because sometimes there is a bit of competition in between tech people and sales people. And who will it benefit for, the most? I mean, because for me, it's like a new era coming in front. And I'm thinking, it's going to be even better for sales than for tech. But maybe as a tech guy, you will say, well, Matthieu, no, not exactly, or maybe everyone. But what's your take?
I talk about it will actually benefit everyone. Regardless of which role you have, you will be able to have more impact. People with good ideas will be benefited, like in an outsized way, and people who are just good at following orders, I mean, they will not benefit as much, I think.
What about kids?
Yes, we're seeing so many kids starting their own businesses. It's so inspiring. Like I think Lucy, 12 years old, she's starting her jewelry store, and I see videos online. The co-founder of Hugging Face posted this video where they had a hackathon, and that was on what kids are doing when they get access to this. They're super excited and they get hooked.
This is so much. Oh, wow.
So we're seeing a new generation of very young founders, I think, building with AI.
My kids are going to become entrepreneurs.
I think
tomorrow.
And I think it's the best education is to try to create value in society, right? Which is what a founder tries to do.
And so just to understand, before you show me the result, is so when I have a result like this, can I ask Lovable to put it online live? If I have, is it easy to host it, or do I have to go on OVH or AWS?
Good question. I mean, the beauty is that Lovable, you take an idea, you prompt it, it's done, and then one click publish is hosted, even with a custom domain if you want this custom domain.
And for the payments, if I have to get paid,
and then you will have to set up payments, and then we will guide you through exact steps
with
to follow.
Stripe
Then now you need a Stripe account,
Yeah.
and you just create a Stripe account, and then Lovable will add the payments on the.
You know what? The good thing is that I have 3 kids, so it's even 3 times more chances that it's going to work, and because they can't get payments because they're not 18 years old. I will get the payments from them.
That's not perfect for you.
Fantastic. So what did it say?
Okay, so we asked for new business that will make money. And what it did here was it searched your background and it found that you're a podcast host and you've created 15 startups. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So then it says that what the idea it wants us to build is a Founders Forge, an AI-powered startup accelerator platform helping aspiring entrepreneurs validate, build, and scale their businesses using your proven methodologies. And then it creates the landing page for this. So what we can do now is to look through how does this first version look like. Okay. So we can see the website. Turn your startup idea into reality. And then the first thing is a call to action. You can enter your email address and get early access.
Okay.
It has generated a fancy image of people building a startup, put it on the website, and explains the benefits here. So everything you need to succeed: AI-powered validation, proven frameworks, expert community, investor network, growth acceleration, and rapid prototyping, together with the tools you provide. Okay, and that's a beautiful pricing page. I'm pretty excited to sign up for this.
Yeah. Actually, the next level would be actually Founders Forge. I like the name also. Yep. The next thing would be actually the idea it gives me, but it's probably a bit tough yet. But would be because we have now all of these podcasts, speech to text. I mean, all of this archive. We could use them into something like this, and you would use the knowledge out of my podcast to start those businesses and a kind of dialogue with the 500 people I've talked with.
So the conversations would be used to help founders or to decide what to build? Or both?
Probably both, actually, yeah.
So we could try and ask it to find some transcripts and then create a course material based on that.
Yeah, would be fun.
I think it should be possible with a bit of trial and error.
So but see, the dynamic I'm very happy to go through with you is that the way it opens your mind on many things you could do, because obviously it's the first idea it gave us. But I mean, I can ask for 10 other ideas and say, well, I like this, but this not. And then it's a dialogue. Then it's probably reasoning behind. But
I think so, yeah.
How do you sleep? I mean, there was the thing having with that.
Yeah. No, there's so many possibilities to build with AI right now, and I really mean it that today is the best time in history to start a business because there are so many opportunities, and you can learn about how to do things so fast by just talking to an AI. How would I do this? Asking it to be an expert for you.
The problem is that it's the best today, but probably within 2 years, it's going to be even too late. You know, everything's going so fast. I mean, at some point, if you're very rich, you would say, well, start 1,000 businesses every day. And
today,
and you know, and just kill all of the 99% that don't work and do it again tomorrow and do it again tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, it's insane because the competition is going to be hardcore too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It raises a lot of questions. Other question that it raises is that what is your are you scared about? Anthropic or obviously OpenAI or Google going after Lovable, because it will definitely come at some point, right?
Yeah, I think every time I think about the competitor, I would spend my time better to think about how can we make our product better, understand my users, and help them succeed.
So you try not to think about them.
Yeah, I think people will make other products that are also good, but we just want to make the best product, and that's how we ultimately successful.
Yeah, plus, it's not their main and only focus.
No,
yesterday, I was talking to that guy. Have you ever heard about arcades.ai?
No.
It's a company I had the chance to invest in, and they do something I do believe is going to work. It scares a lot of people, but they do artificial influencers. So they look like you and I.
Yep.
They can be even you and I artificially, and they will talk, and you can ask them to talk, and still you can ask them to make 1,000 content every day on this and try different things. And they're like almost to it's not as big as Lovable, but like a 10 million ARR within 18 months or something like this, which is pretty big. Yeah. And I was talking to the founder yesterday, Romain, and he was telling me that TikTok is trying to launch something like them, but the TikTok team is working actually on arcades.ai because it's better and because it's their only focus. And as you say, you're not thinking about competition. You're just thinking about what you're going to do better tomorrow, right? Next. What are you going to do better next then?
So what I'm ultimately very excited about is that founders, they need to build their product, and then they need to distribute the product, and they need to manage some of the finance and operations. And if we can create Lovable such that you can do all of that, you can create a product and you can grow your business in one place. Then we're going to help millions of founders build successful businesses. And what we will need to do is just to pick some of our partners, and working with this. Stripe is a good partner for payments, for example, and then make the AI integrate with the different partners that we need, or for market, for distribution, for growing the business. Maybe there's some different marketing, meta ads and so on. Maybe Arcade for creating content to explain what your business is doing, and then doing what we do really well, which is to create an intuitive and delightful experience for humans to interface with all of these things packaged together. So that we want to create the best interface for building your business on top of Lovable.
And so today your play is about what you said earlier on. I think you used the word prosumers.
And founders is actually the largest group among all of them.
But as I understand, you're also working on because you had some meetings. Maybe I'm not telling secrets today, but I don't know the name of the companies. But you have now meetings with larger companies, right?
Yeah. So we have go-to-market engineers that help those large companies be successful and help them buy Lovable, because they have people at their companies have tried Lovable and they think it's amazing. They want to adopt it in their teams more widely.
You must remember YC's rule that is don't spend time with large companies because they're going to ruin your time, and it's just
I personally
waste of time.
Actually don't spend so much time. I would like to spend more time to get to know their businesses, but so far it's one part of the team that is ensuring that we really help them succeed and make them successful with Lovable.
They must be so scared also when
the large companies.
Yeah, because at some point you can. As small founders, you're like, "Wow, I can do so many things." Yeah. But large company will be like, "Wow, they can do so many shit." You know what I'm saying? With their employees, and you can't release that many things every day, right?
Yeah, no, it has to be very well thought out in terms of now we recommend it for. Deciding what to build, which is this huge, where they spend most of their time today, right? Using Lovable for that.
Okay.
And then creating full Lovable products, you need an engineer to also make sure that everything looks good and is production ready before you get your users on board. That's how I would say it.
Okay.
And some people don't do that, and they make money and they take some risks. But that's not what I recommend.
Do you want to start the next experience? And then I have a few questions.
Sounds good.
Talking about metrics, because you started about metrics. But so the idea would be like, we have this website called jdiy.fr. So that's the website for the podcast website. So what I would love is actually that we migrate the migration of the previous website into a new one. That will be much more easy to...
Let's try. What was it called?
Génération do it yourself. So it's jdiy.fr. And then what I would love to, obviously, is that we have it available in English and in Spanish and in Chinese.
So what I can see is that it has quite many pages on it.
Yeah, like probably 500 pages.
Okay, that's 500 pages. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Is there a way to do something standard and then we afterwards just add a lot of the content, the separate step?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure. So I can give you an index, not right now, but all of the
and
content.
then we can do all of that afterwards. So what we mainly want to have is that there's a nice landing page.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's a nice template for one type of content, like blog post.
Yeah, the key pages for a website like this, because many people think the most important web page is the home page, which is very important, but still the most important web page is the episode page, because that's where people come on. They will get like probably Anton at some point, Osika, and they will type your name, and probably they will come on the website on your webpage, and so on your episode. So my take on this is that I want people to understand what they can listen to, because maybe it's going to be in English. This one is going to be in English. It's going to be also in French, so you can also find it in French. And then I want people to leave me their email address, because I will send you an email every,
Makes sense.
So that
Sunday
on there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty simple. And so we will start with just the first page, and what I could do here is to take some screenshot and show it visually, but I'll keep it very simple and just take the URL. I'll copy the URL and I go to Lovable, and then I tell it recreate it, and you tell me what you want different.
Okay. That's insane, because then people you like another podcast, you want the same website, and just boom, and just change a few things so people don't annoy me and say it's a copycat, right? But I can do it with
But is there anything design-wise or so that you want different?
No, I want it to be probably more efficient. I changed the logo recently, but it's already changed on this. But I didn't change. It's too old, so I want it to be more. Sharper and probably.
Oh, let's just say do similar design, but improve it.
Yeah, and the actions I want is people to register. So register on YouTube, register on Spotify.
Okay.
Leave me their email address.
Maybe we can ask it to be creative in terms of making people register.
Yeah.
With the countdowns or something. We'll see what it comes up with.
Cool. So it's working right now.
Yes. Now it's working.
Okay. So while it's working out, is it going to be fast? Do you know?
This is going to take a few minutes. So now it's browsing the website to understand what's on it today.
So let's talk about metrics. So you told me 90 million within 9 months? Something like that?
8 months.
ARR, 8 months. So ARR, that's the annual recurring revenue, right? What is the churn like? I mean, who's registering? Who's your client, and what is the churn like? And what do I pay for actually?
Yeah, so you pay every month for being able to use some of the premium features, like publishing with custom domains, and to have control privacy under project settings. And there is a certain amount of AI budget you can use every month.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that some months we've been losing money because the AI is so expensive.
Yeah.
And we were trying to balance that out so that we don't lose money the more people use our product.
So you make money now?
So on everyone that is paying, we make some money.
Okay.
On the people who are on for the free tier, we lose money on each free.
So on total, you lose money.
I don't have the exact up to date on how these things balance out, but we can kind of control a bit on how much we spend on the free usage.
And how much does it cost? What's the premium feature?
So Lovable costs $25 per month
Per user?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm a team, I can have like 10 users, it's going to be 250, or you have team plans?
Yeah. So I think you can have, you pay per seat if you're using a team. Now you can also collaborate for free. So you don't need to have kind of free people collaborating as well.
Okay, fantastic. And so what would be my usage is managing my website, probably, like here, like if I decide to change from WordPress to Lovable. So
you just like roughly, you get at least 100, but you also get free usage every day. So you can get like 200 changes done per month.
200.
Yeah. And if you want to use it a lot, many people use it like thousands of times per month. Then you go up and pay more per month.
So, wow. It goes, I mean, for example, people ask me about, so be prepared. Later on, I will ask you about a book you would recommend to everyone, right? Mm-hmm. And so I asked about those books at every episode, and people ask me if there is a place where I can put all of the books and the one that has been recommended the most and so on. So my idea would be that I want this page to be made and updated every week, thanks to the content I put on Spotify, or the page I put where I put the speech to text and all of the and then I want it to be with my Amazon account that has what do you call it, affiliate program, right? So I want to use this affiliate program thing. Can I do all of this? You think the affiliate program too?
Let me think about the affiliate program. I don't know how that program works exactly.
You have to log into my Amazon account
to get the link for that.
To get the link.
The specific link for that book.
Maybe there's an API. There is definitely
some API. Yes. So that means you should be able to do this. It will require a bit of trial and error and talking to the AI to understand the technical details of implementing it. But yes, 100%.
And the crazy thing about this, which is, I mean, I'm thinking about that, but anyone who's listening to me can do it also.
They can do it, yeah.
So 100%. On my work content,
that's
I want to get on my affiliate, and they will compete with me on the pages where they will get their own affiliates. And
next week you will have 10 clones of this website.
Yeah, give me 50%, and I don't give a shit. But
then you'll promote them. So you have an affiliate on the affiliate program.
Somehow. Okay, so what about the churn? So do people stay, or what can you give me some figures?
Users are very happy about the tool, and we're seeing very strong retention.
Okay. And how do you get them? I mean, going on podcasts like mine will definitely, I'm sure it will get you, I don't know, if not hundreds, but I would say thousands of new clients within the next in France within the next
I will monitor
probably. Can you give me an affiliate program, or do you have a code? No, I don't. It's okay, no worries. No, seriously.
Where do people come from? So the biggest channel, so to say, is word of mouth.
Yeah,
because we have established ourselves as a category leader in being able to build without knowing how to write code. And
I did recommend Lovable already 2 or 3 times in the past in my on my newsletter.
Oh, nice.
So
So, but that's the biggest one. And then people create YouTube videos about us. I think that's also quite a large channel. But that's how people hear about us.
Interesting. And do you have a recommendation system, or not affiliation, but if I like in French we say Godfather, but if I invite some people, do you give me a free month, or
so if you want more like AI credits, as we call them, you can, if you're a paying user, you can invite someone, and then both of you will get more free credits.
Well, at least I will put this link on this episode, so I will give away some free credits and get some. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, an entrepreneur, what do you want?
Cool. So we said we would create website. Okay, so we said we would make a migration from your previous website to see if we can do it in Lovable. And one thing I was thinking is that we could also ask it to find a few podcast episodes and put them up there to see how it looks like. And what I often do with Lovable is that I prompt it in a few different ways at once, and then I let them run for a few minutes and see which one I like best. So here, let's say, find an episode on the website and create a page for that one.
Okay.
But let's see which ones we prefer most.
Okay, so
now we asked it to recreate the landing page of GDIY, and now here is the first version.
The fun thing is that it took the picture of me with this hat. How do you call that? Beanie, but it's not me, obviously. So it's
it AI generated.
Yeah. So I should ask.
It looked at the picture.
Somehow.
That's funny.
Listen.
Okay, so you can subscribe.
So it says, listen to the podcast. French. You can, it says you can find it on Apple Podcasts. So if you click on the link on Apple Podcasts, is it the right link already or?
No, but we can ask you to make sure it's the right one. Add the link to Apple Podcast. Maybe I'll zoom out as well so we can see more here.
And I can obviously upload photos that I want to put on. Put this photo on the website, on the homepage and everything. Okay, great. So it will put all of the links to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere.
If you ask it to.
Okay.
I think it will find the Apple Podcast link and then add the right one. So now we can start this migration. And what you said was that you have 500 pages.
Yeah.
So you can either do it manually, like one prompt at a time.
Yeah.
Or we can find some smarter way to ingest like all of the episodes. And I can go more into detail about how something like that would look like. But since to just understand if this is a good idea or not, are there anything else that you would be concerned about before you went through with this in terms of making it design look a bit better or optimizing it for SEO?
Or definitely SEO, because my SEO is quite good already, but I want it to be even better.
Yeah,
and plus I want to also. There's a lot of content we want to create just to help the community, right? For example, the thing people ask us all the time, we want to answer those on the website. So I was talking about, the books, but sometimes they ask what materials studio do we use because we're a big reference on the podcast in France.
Add that,
and so add all of those resources we want to share and make sure we'll send the people everywhere on the right pages on the website.
Yep.
And probably, I was actually kidding, but at some point having English at least, because at some point we will translate probably all of the content.
That makes sense.
Yeah, in other languages. So as we're doing it right now.
Makes sense. I think we can. I asked it now. Add a language selector so that we can have it in English as well and see what happens.
So the idea, what we're trying to do with Anton right now, is just to explain how it works. The experience I had yesterday with Lovable is that you talk with the machine, right? So what we're doing is that if you say, I want those links to be made with the good links, it works most of the time. Yesterday, what I had on this studio was, it found on the papers that it was 61 meter squares. And I was like, I don't give a shit about 61, just put 60, it's not like 61.52, right? So the way it works is that you dialogue with Lovable. And
you have a conversation with an engineer.
So it can be very precise. Don't put this here, change this one here. I don't like this photo. I want something that is more like this. Get this photo from here, from that URL. I can find a photo of myself and say, can you put this in black and white? But it's the same photo. Where does it not work? At some point I had a lot of frustration with ChatGPT, for example. Where do you have frustrations on Lovable now?
I'd say if you're building Salesforce, it gets complex. then the AI is going to trip up and introduce bugs in the product. Write code that has bug is what we call it's when the software is not working as it should. But that happens when you're building something a bit too ambitious, and it can feel like it happens when you're building something quite simple as well in some cases. But if you're patient, then you will be able to go through those problem areas, and it will figure it out, so to say. I think that those are the frustrations. Then in general, you can do so many things if you're a software engineer, and I'm sure there's some of them that the system isn't as good as a human on yet. There's some of them but they're increasingly uncommon. The AI is much faster than a human, regardless.
What's your position toward Copilot or?
So there are tools for developers.
Yeah,
Copilot is one of those tools. What we do is that we help the 99% who don't code go from an idea to a working software product in minutes. And that's
okay, for the developers, will you help them doing something that then you would integrate on Copilot?
Yeah, that many developers do that. And what Lovable provides for them is instant to get started from your browser, and instant to go the first many steps, and hosting. All the hosting, and as you said, it's quite a lot of setup, and even just you can purchase your own domain. In Lovable.
On what? Where do you host? It's not your own servers, is it?
No, it's we picked the one that is most reliable. So
which is AWS or
the one of the biggest distribution networks for content online is called Cloudflare.
Yeah. Okay. Cloudflare. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it European? Because
Cloudflare has 700 places where they have their servers, so it's very distributed.
But it's an American company.
It's an American company, that's true.
Do you know OVH? Do you know Octave Klaba?
Is it OVH? A European?
It's French. Yeah, I recorded. They make $1 billion revenue, more than that. They're pretty big. I know you're into European companies, so you should definitely meet Octave. I've released I'm sure you will fit perfectly well. He's based right here, and you're into European, make Europe great again.
Exactly, we have to accelerate Europe, and I love European founders that think really big and are very ambitious.
He's actually from Poland, but he's French right now, and he created that himself with his family. You have to meet Octave Klaba. 100%.
It sounds good. It sounds like what we should be using for people who care about data security in Europe.
I'll send him to Stockholm. Okay, I think we can do that, don't you? Right. We don't have much time left. You have a dinner pretty soon. But what in your craziest dreams? Where are you gonna go?
So how we see Lovable now is that it's the best way to build applications, and it should work really, really well for 95% of all, at least SaaS businesses. What we're extending it to is to see it as a platform where you do everything that you need to do in the life cycle of building a software product. And now we do we do the first steps really well. And also the part of the life cycle, which is to understand your users, understand what makes them get value and share their experience to their friends so that you can grow, and other things so that you can grow. So we want to be this platform where you build successful businesses on, not just build the product on. And what we talk about sometimes is to create so much value that we become the first $1 trillion company from Europe.
$1 trillion company. Yeah. Interesting. You know what? I mean, I don't know if it's the same for everybody listening. I know I have a bunch of very geek people listening to Génération like yourself, but I mean, the more I listen to you, the more, even when you talk about this, I'm like, one of my concerns, for example, is that I rely on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and sometimes I was thinking about, ways to create my own distribution channel
without them.
I'm not thinking about, replacing them. It's just like, my concern is that, tomorrow Spotify can decide that it doesn't want to I mean, at least recommend Génération Do It Yourself to anyone, and recommend one other one. On YouTube or and I'm really dependent. The chance I have is I rely on 3-4 of them. So it's just not one, right? If you just rely on YouTube, I mean, your condition is too fragile, right? But when I think about what you just said, it's like I could just create my own app and give some extra content if you come, or you will get the content 2 days before if you get the content on the Génération Do It Yourself Apple or Android app, and then I will notify you about this episode before, and then you can get it on video, and then you can get the video pre-roll that is my sponsor, or not if you want to pay. I mean, but can you do real apps like
mobile apps?
Mobile apps.
So there's no native built-in support in Lovable, but you can ask it, hey, now I want this mobile-friendly app that has been built to be packaged onto the App Store, and then it will help a bit. And you also need to use other services and do some work on your side to make it be packaged for the App Store.
It will come at some point, probably, no?
Yes, and making it fully native, it will come at some point.
Okay. Wow. And what is your nightmare about what's going to happen? I don't know, because AI can be a source of a lot of nightmares. I mean,
yes. Sure. So for the company, I just think in terms of optimism, what can we do better today? And how can we make what I care most about, the team work better together and make the team stronger? That's how I think, not so many nightmares. But if you look at AI in general, I think I've been saying for a long time, like for more than 5 years, that it's going to be the best thing or the worst thing that happens to us humans is AI. And if you want to talk about the negative scenarios, I prefer to talk about the positive scenarios. But it's that it's clear that us humans aren't so good at being friends with each other and collaborating and thinking in terms of how do we get the best outcome for everyone. We're not so good at that, and there are a lot of conflicts. And if you have extremely powerful technology that might be like so complex that you as a human have a very hard time to predict the consequences of using it in the wrong way, or asking it to maybe you even ask AI, make sure that our enemies cannot defeat us, something simple like that, and then it will see, okay, what's the most safe way to do that for us without caring about anything else? It just kills all the enemies. Like it could do that, things like that could happen. And what the only way I think to ensure that we don't get these bad outcomes is to use the AI to become wiser in terms of how we collaborate better as humans. And I think if we do this, we can solve all conflicts that humans have with each other even. And that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. If you are the Anton right now that is in my position, and you're talking with Anton and you're thinking about, okay, I've done those things. I mean, not my position as Matthieu, as a podcaster, but as the Anton who, like, I don't know, 20 months ago started.
20 months ago?
Yeah, I don't know, started Lovable. But you didn't start it yourself, and you're in my position and you don't work. What would you do? Would you look for, I mean, a lot of amazing developers as you did with Lovable, or would you just be a solo founder? What would be your obsession?
If I would go back in time 20 months.
No, if you were now, you get Lovable, the opportunity of using Lovable, but you didn't
build with
AI. With AI, or would you still use Lovable? Would that be your own obsession, or would you do something else?
Problems that I would want to work at if I wouldn't be building Lovable.
Yeah.
This is a very good question. There's so many exciting problems to work on. I think how humans interface with this new technology is the one that I'm most excited about now. And there are many new ways to shape that in terms of like what's the right way to do it, and how it integrates with the all your memories, for example. I think it's a very fascinating problem to work on. If, let's say, that problem is solved already, or someone has solved that, I think I would be working on how understanding and like improving problems with how the brain works, because everything that we as humans do is like experienced and comes from our brains. And I think there's so much left to be discovered. And like I think the worst diseases I've seen people have is when you get old and your brain stops working.
Yeah.
So I think thanks to AI, you will also be able to solve those problems.
Incredible.
And I'm looking forward to see generation of entrepreneurs really go deep on using AI for human health and specifically for understanding our brains.
This changes everything. This is amazing. I mean, like every part of our lives, because we're talking about our life of entrepreneurs, and now you're talking about health. I mean, but it can be like finance. I mean, we're talking now about, using AI as a financial advisor, or even doing thing itself, like with agents, or we can talk about, I mean, on every kind of sectors. We talked about CRM. Yeah. That's really deep, mate. How about, do you love what you're doing? Are you like, because you came in, you were like almost dead. I mean, sleeping literally on the table before we recorded. I'm sorry, I would say this, but it was a fun experience, and it's interesting. I love seeing CEOs just killing themselves somehow. How far do you love what you're doing? What's happening to you, Anton?
I love what I'm doing. It's really fun. The product we're building, the team, it's very super fun. I do think sometimes I'm pulled in many different directions at once, and my calendar is a bit too filled up. But I also get the luxury a bit to shape what I can work on, and having nice conversations, for example, I think is energizing, and I learn things from talking and answering your great questions as well.
What if I gave you 4 extra hours a day? What would you do with them?
4 extra hours per day. I think I wouldn't be able to resist just working more, but I wish I could do some, fit in a bit more exercise and like relaxation. And like what you saw when I put my head down on your table was me trying to be doing efficient relaxation.
So meditating, or?
I do some kind of meditation sometimes, yeah.
Okay. You definitely have to take good care of yourself. Do you have a coach or something like this, or because it's going to be a tough journey, right? It's already a tough journey, but if you want to keep,
I have a coach who's very good at business things. So we just talk about the company and the business mostly, but otherwise, I have a wife who's also a founder, and she works like the same amount as me, and having the similar lifestyle in that sense is actually makes the support, and she's super supportive, even more valuable, because you can relate to each other in more ways.
What does she do? What's the business?
She has a company called Imagi, and they help they educate about computer science, AI, and so on.
Oh, wow.
And it's they're used in many schools.
Does it work in France?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe I have to ask. I think it's a product is in English.
Okay. We'll put it on the resources for the website. You send us the link if you agree. Have you ever thought about like a mental coach, or you know what I'm saying? Like I have had the previous episode we released was with this French handball player called Nicolas Karabatic. He's like a fucking superstar. Like he played 23 championships and won 22, right? So you can imagine the level of the guy. And after like, I don't know, 18 years, he was like burnout, like total depression and so on. And I'm just worrying for you, or even better, I think we can all be even better getting the right coach. Yeah,
interesting. I would love to see data on this. Someone recently asked me, like, Anton, do you have a psychologist? I have this coach which is a psychologist, and this other is a founder. This other founder is also talking to him. It's great. And I'm like, yeah, that could be useful, but I'm afraid that I will be more stressed because I have less time to just fix the things I want.
You can be efficient. Do you take holidays? Well, yeah, probably not since you launched.
Not so much, but I'm taking a few days this summer.
And do you think you're able to stop working?
If I will be able to stop working during holidays? No, I won't be. I know that I will be.
It's not holidays, right? But
yeah. Okay. No, I will not be able to stop. And it's I'm thinking about this. I've tried to take holidays in the past, and I was like, no, it's too exciting right now. And as you say, like how do you sleep? Is what you asked me. So it's very hard to not work. But I'm looking forward to reach some kind of milestone where I can be like, okay, now I really have to figure out how do I completely shut down for a few days or weeks.
I was 100% serious when I was asking this question, how do you sleep? Because I mean, this conversation will 100% not help me sleeping within the next days, because AI since a few years is already like, I mean, I take notes on my phone and I'm like obsessed with the thing, but it opens your field of possibilities. It's just insane, right? So yeah, I wouldn't like to be in your head, probably. I don't know. Maybe I would like somehow. Yeah,
some parts you would like, but yes, it's there's too many things going on at the same time.
So what about that book you cannot read because you don't have time, but you would recommend to everyone?
Yeah, so I have a book that I think is my favorite book, and it's both entertaining and puts like light on a different way of thinking about the world. It's called Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman.
Okay.
And my background is in physics, and there's this like interesting curiosity in understanding how the world works and being very like seeing human interactions as well in a different way. I think that I got from studying physics with fun, creative people that are very open-minded. And this guy is a legendary physicist that did a lot of different things. He like created new ways of working together in the Manhattan Project when they built this. Like they had hundreds of scientists working together. He's a very funny guy.
Can we read it? Like, can I read it easily?
Yeah, 100%. It's I think it's just inspiring in terms of like especially for kids. I think you can be. I mean, science can be very fun, and you can be a quirky, weird person and do great things in it.
Speaking of science, because you're a scientist, where is it going to go with AI? I mean, are developers going to disappear? I mean, are scientists going to disappear? I don't know.
I think the role of us humans more and more is going to be what questions to ask from the AI.
Yeah.
And the other thing, which is to have good taste about what the humans want and like what is good design, what is a good product. And those two things, like ask the questions and what humans like explaining to AI what humans care about is not going to go away. And it is actually quite a large role of both scientists and developers need to like understand what, like, hey, like someone tells you as a developer to do something.
Yeah.
But you need to use your intuition about what they actually mean that you only have by being a human. So there's that part is going to stay. And there's going to be a lot new crazy creative tools that people build that will be expanding our human experience.
I would have taken half an hour more of your time, but I have to leave you. Before I leave you, a couple of questions very like fast. One is what is the trick you've learned, because you've been recruiting some of the best in Europe. How can I do that myself? I mean, what are the secrets you have?
Good question. I think the best people you get to know by being friends with great people, and then meeting a lot of people and seeing who is really cares a lot about their work they do, and cares a lot about the business you're building, the team you're building, and who are very good at something. They're very smart or very good engineers.
We're
finding people like that, making friends with them, and getting to know more people, because those type of people often connect with each other quite well.
All right. Actually, I think we're quite good on this, recruiting the right people right now.
I have a sense from this conversation. Imagine you have very interesting friends as well.
Plus Matteo, you've seen, or all of the team we have around, or they're I mean, really into the mission we have. So it's interesting, and really into AI, which is, I mean, our job has changed so much, mate. I mean, the last year is, I mean, everything has changed, all of our processes, and it's very exciting. But another thing, so you grew from 0 to 90, let's say 100 million within 8 months. So, I mean, when is going to be the billion? I mean, and I don't know, what the 10 billion. I mean, is it going to be like this, or are you still on the first part of the hockey stick?
Yeah, so as more opportunities to use Lovable becomes more clear, and more types of companies and individuals can use it
and make money from it.
Yes, and solve their problems. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't continue on a kind of exponential trend. But I'm just focused on making the product more useful, do more things better, and see what comes from that.
Did I read somewhere you were raising money out of a 2 billion valuation? Is that right? Is that something you can comment, or?
I've seen rumors about that too, but I can't comment.
Okay. Why can't you? Because it's your business. Is it, what do you have on that business? How much, what's your shares now?
So I have an equal co-founder, Fabian.
Okay.
And then we have some investors from before.
So it's like 40, 20, something like this? More or less.
Actually.
Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, a lot of people came to me and said they've invested into your business. Actually, Alexandre Berich told me to come in. You know Alexandre a bit, yeah? I was like, what the fuck did you tell me? I mean, maybe I wouldn't have invested, though. I don't know. That would have been my main mistake. But great. So the billion, you have an idea of when you want it?
When that happens.
Yeah. 2026.
We talk about the number of users that we want to have. And we want to have a million paying users by end of this year.
And now, how many do you have now?
Now we're closing on 200,000.
Okay, so it's 5 times more. Yeah. I'll be one of them. Good. That's for sure. We'll be one of them, definitely.
Keep sending your feedback to us.
Yeah, we will. No, but the thing is that we're going to make, if we make business out of it, obviously, I mean, we're always happy to pay. Great. Anything you want to say, Clem? No? So my last question will be, Anton, if you had the chance to meet Anton, I don't know, out of school, like what, 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
I think I would tell myself to be very thoughtful about where people I really get inspired by and can learn from and become a better Anton. And be thoughtful and spend time and really invest in those relationships. And I think that's where, having done that, is where my success has come from. But I think it's something that you always get the most valuable learnings in life from, and you are inspired to, like, having those around you be great role models. And that's where you get most personal improvement and satisfaction as a human.
Thanks for everything. It was an amazing episode. It's really, opened my mind even more. I mean, I had this experience yesterday, but tonight we had all of those 2 experience trials. It's just, the beginning of what we can do. But, when you think that through, it's impressive. My thoughts are like, a lot of people don't figure out we're even there. I think it's like maybe 1% of the people around us, right?
Yeah.
Even less. So you're right. It's a lot of opportunities, but sometimes it makes me think, I mean, do the people, like the politics or like everywhere, do they understand what's happening right now? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. No, it's the world is changing fast. I think the technology is not the bottleneck. It's I think us humans not being ready to adopt a lot of the change. So it could happen even much faster in how we work together.
What's the expression? There is a geek expression. The problem is in between the chair and the computer, right?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where are your clients? I mean, and actually, are they in the US? Is it the biggest?
Yeah. So we haven't thought about that at all.
Yeah.
Which is fun. We're just seeing that the number of users in each country is a bit proportional to how many people live in that country. And maybe Europe, Sweden is a bit overweight, but large countries like US and Brazil, India, and some in Japan and China as well. There is a lot of users there, but all the European countries are also, there are lots of people.
So you just see yourself as a worldwide company. You don't care about global company. You don't care about where they come from, where the people come.
Right.
As far as they pay for a premium, I mean, or they use, but still. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Thanks, Anton.
Great to be chatting. I'm looking forward to stay connected. This was so fun.
Yeah. We'll follow you on LinkedIn, everyone. Yeah. Maybe there's a newsletter from you guys, or no? Or would you just...
If you have a Lovable account, you get email updates about how the product is rapidly changing.
Okay. You get your Lovable account and you'll use my subscription link and you'll get some free credits.
Great.
No, I normally ask for my guests, like a promo code for the listeners. But if it's doable, we'll talk with your team. If it's not, who cares? You'll use my link. It's just a way to promote your episode, and I don't ask for anything in exchange.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Anton. It was amazing. And I'm not going to sleep for the next 10 days. Thank you. And probably not for my whole holidays coming within the next weeks, but
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you can be. Cheers. Bye.